The Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter, considered one of the best movies in the entire Friday the 13th franchise. But Rotten Tomatoes says different with 19%. Does it deserve a. Yeah, I know, man. Like, does it deserve a 19%? So I say we finally just settle the issue once and for all. Let's talk about it.
Let's do it. What's going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Real Hunting, where you've hunting for the good real so you don't have to. And welcome to our first episode of the Rotten Reaction, where we take a look at some of our favorite horror flicks and their crappy Rotten Tomatoes scores and determine whether or not it's worth it, if it deserves it or not, I should say. And we did something kind of like this back before when Halloween Kills came out, before it was released, and we just kind of wanted to do that with some of our old favorites. And we picked Friday the 13th, final chapter, part 4 for the first one because it's a fan favorite, but it's got a freaking 19%, and we're here to determine what the hell's going on.
Yeah, man, and this is my personal favorite Friday the 13th movie in the entire franchise. I actually have this in my top 10 of favorite horror movies of all time. So when I even mentioned the word 19% the other day about this, I'm like, no, we gotta talk. Like, this has to be our first episode on this little new series. You want to show them the official number of the Rotten Tomatoes scores? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, 19%.
Yeah, like, I'm even like pissed off about like the audience score too. Like, that's ridiculous.
I agree, man. It's crazy. Granted, 31 reviews isn't a huge amount, but still, man, that just looks bad. One of the best movies in the franchise. Whoever you ask is going to say it's going to be one of the best in the franchise for the most part. And what they're saying as a consensus here is that it's lumberly single-minded as its homicidal star. Friday the 13th, the final chapter, adds another rote entry to an increasingly labored franchise. And I'm saying, what the fuck are they even talking about? Because this is only the 4th movie, and it's completely different from the last 3, because it's just, at this point, the franchise was still fresh. So what are they even smoking?
Yeah, I know, and Jason just got his mask, and then, like, this is, like, the most darkest, like, story of the Friday the 13th series yet, with some of the most lovable characters of all the entire, like, the most, like, kind of like a group characters that we love on the screen, too. So, yeah, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, we get freaking Corey Feldman here. That sounds wrong. Is that right? Is that his name?
Corey Feldman.
Okay, we get Corey Feldman in here as Tommy Jarvis. First time a kid's been introduced to Jason in this whole freaking the sheep-on thing here, man. I don't know what that means, but what were they even talking about? Let's get into some of these reviews, man. We got some here picked out. We're gonna see what the heck these guys are smoking.
Yeah, just pop one up, and let's freaking like just either just rip it apart or actually kind of like agree with it, because there's some of these I kind of partially agree with. Like Ralph. Yeah, Ralph Novak from People Magazine stated that nobody under 13 should be allowed to see this movie. Nobody over 13 should want to. I agree with the first part of that sentence, but the last part of that sentence, what the hell is he smoking? Because, like, this freaking has everything. Like, it has TNA, it has kills, like every 13-year-old boy's dream, man. And it has twins.
It's got twins, and I agree with this statement entirely. But only about People Magazine. Get out of here, you freaking losers. This is trash. Nobody 13 and up or under should be reading People Magazine. I think I'm a man. I'm 40, and I love Friday the 13th, Part 4. I'm not 40, but I am older than 13.
You're not a kid.
Let's see what Timmy's got to say here, man. Timmy Brayton.
Let's figure it out. See here. Tim says, not so vanilla stupid as his predecessor. Well, predecessors, those were fun movies too. Because I can understand the first one, but the second one has another great set of group characters. One of the most epic legendary final girls of all time with freaking Jenny, and we freaking got the sack. We're not going to start a sack counter today, but we got the sack, Jason, which looked pretty cool. And then we got Part 3 and 3D. Like, how cool is that? And he gets his freaking hockey mask. Like, stupid.
That's stupid. Yeah, this guy's stupid, as his predecessor is. Okay, let's look at Caffeinated Client, movie hole.
Oh, man. The stars come out to play for this one. They shouldn't have bothered. Bullshit on that one. They absolutely should, because they get all of the love at every convention.
Yeah, they do. And Corey, this is one of his biggest this is what got him freaking started almost. Like right up there, like this got him into the Goonie land and all the other stuff that followed, Lost Boys, you name it. I think it was a good decision for him to be here. And Crispin Glover, man, he's one of the best. He's one of the favorites in the franchise because of that Sick Dance.
Yeah, and it was the movie right before Back to the Future as well. So yeah, that was like his coming out party was this movie.
Drink some more coffee, Clint. All right, part 4. Let's see what Ken's got to say.
Yeah, both of these last ones kind of tie in together. Final chapter, my ass. And go ahead and pull up the last one because it's kind of like combining. And Jerry also want to add on to it. They promised this would be the final one. They lied. You know, I can understand this comment because it is called the final chapter. However, man, when you're making freaking money, you can't stop. You know, you gotta freaking just ride it out as much as you can until the revenue doesn't come in anymore. And trust me, revenue still came in with this franchise.
Right, and Joe Zito, who made the movie, he to his credit, he thought it was going to be the final chapter. It's not his fault. It's not a knock on the movie because this didn't end up being the final chapter. Get out of here, dude.
Yeah, that was the studio decision.
Yeah, come on, get out of here. That doesn't make the movie bad. All right, now let's see. We got Mr. Eric Snelder on the line, whatever his name is. Snider. Displays some signs of competence, and he gives it a 3 out of 5. This one shouldn't even be rotten. So go ahead and add another percentage point for the fresh category because he doesn't know his reds from his greens. Get out of here. I like him. Okay, opening line of the film. This is from Variety staff. They should know better than this. Opening line of the film. I don't want to scare anybody, but Jason is still out there. His film's only a laugh. Come on.
Yeah, and bullshit on that real quick, just because that was not the opening line. The opening line is from part 2 going, I don't want to scare anyone, but I want to tell you something about Jason. Yeah, so yes, bullshit.
Well, my point here is that this doesn't even come from this movie. They showed the flashback at the beginning, but I wouldn't call it the opening line of the movie. I would call this a flashback. The opening line is going to be in the hospital or at the scene from the third one. But get out of here, dude. Like, and the only laugh, did you see Crispin Glover out there murdering the freaking dance floor? Or what about Banana Girl? Or the computer, Ted? Or any of this stuff?
Or freaking Axel.
Yeah, Axel got axled. And we all have a good moment with that. I enjoy it. This Variety guy should know better, man. They should know better. Opening line of the movie. They don't even know which movie it's from. Okay, Janet here from the New York Times. Promise is a promise, or at least it ought to be, but despite its title, Friday the 13th, the final chapter, shows no signs of being the last in its none to illustrious line. Get out of town. Jason got his freaking head split in two. He didn't even make it back to the next movie. No signs this isn't the last freaking chapter. Come on, stop. Literally, that's a pretty big fucking sign when the freaking main killer gets his head chopped off for the most part.
Damn it, Janet, we don't love you. Next one.
Next. The plot is negligible as ever. The sex-obsessed teenagers interchangeably and the grisly murderers all twist on the old favorites. What's wrong with this, Alan? This sounds like a good freaking time.
It does. Like classic 80s in the hype where all the movies were like this. But instead we have a freaking iconic horror villain. So yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Get lost. This is the definition of Friday the 13th. What's Ed got to say here from Apollo? Teens continue to flock to Crystal Lake, and Jason vows that vengeance will again be his. Again, this is the definition of Friday the 13th. Put a freaking red sticker up there and call it fresh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Like bullshit.
Get out of here, Ed. TV guide staff. What, these guys even still have a job? What's going on here? This time out, as if it mattered, the crazed Jason once again stomps through the woods of a lonely summer camp, carving up all the noble young camp counselors. Sounds great to me. As usual, the open ending prepares bloodlustful viewers for another sequel. I don't know how open-ended it was. It did have the little tease from Tommy. I guess you could say that's open-ended, but I don't think anybody was really clamoring for a Tommy showdown after that. I think it was pretty fine night. You freaking murked Jason. He was dead for 2 movies after this, and all the other stuff sounds great.
Yeah, like what's not to love about that? Like, just come on, like TV guy. I'm glad you got shut down. If you're still shut down,
I'm still watching that channel in the background. Let's see what Gregory Weinkoff says. Winkoff, we could say. Oh wait, he's a nice guy. Never mind. I like Gregory. He said some rather amusing crap. Actually, no, Winkoff, it's not crap. Get out of here. You get lost. But thanks for giving it a red score. Felix, though, did say a brutal but entertaining installment for the man behind the mask. Thank you for that. Thank you for being honest, and thank you for bringing some levity to your review.
Yeah, thank you,
there's some
Felix.
other positives, but I just wanted to get one positive to end the thing. That's not all of them, but that's just some of the best.
Yeah, and just our quick overall thoughts on it. With all those Rotten reviews we just read, just bullshit, guys. Like, you just are just watching it for a critique eye. You gotta watch it like as a freaking fan of 80s horror. And this is just like what we call a staple, a pinnacle of 80s horror right here.
Yeah, and all the reviews are like, okay, hey, this is a freaking perfect Friday the 13th movie is what they're telling me. And then if they're not saying that, they're just not familiar with the franchise because they're saying shit that doesn't make any sense. Like, oh, this should have, you lied to me about being the final chapter. That's not a negative on the movie. That's a negative on the studio's decision, if it's a negative at all. But I like some of the ones after 4. Part 6 is my favorite, so whatever.
Yeah, just watch all the damn movies in the Friday the 13th franchise, and then you get back to me on Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter.
Hell yeah, man. But so, I mean, at the end of the day, looking at this stuff, does it deserve a score of 19%, Britman? That's what I'm going to ask you here today.
Well, it absolutely does not. What about you?
Absolutely not, dude. If I had to give it a score, like a percentage, like, I know it's kind of not really a direct score, but I mean, I think it should be like in the 80s at least. I mean, come on.
I would even just
for what it
85.
is. Yeah, for what it is, like for a 80s slasher movie of Jason, like it's damn good.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more with that. But just to close out, we would love to hear from you guys. What percent do you all think that this movie, Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter, deserves to get? Let us know in that comment section down below, and let's get that discussion rolling.
And if you want to help us find a good reels, you can do so by finding us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, and not the last two.
Yeah, mark these out, and also be sure to like this video, share, and subscribe, and of course ring that bell, ding ding ding, so you all know when the next set of Rotten reactions is up and ready. And this puts me in the Friday the 13th mood, so let's freaking go ahead and just put a freaking movie on.
Do it.